So, you know, you're
Okay.
my favorite biology teacher.
Okay. Sure.
You know, right?
I know.
Like you
You,
teach me all the
you
biology
asked a
I
lot
need
of
to
biology
know.
questions. Yeah, I know. So
Of course.
please go ahead.
And it didn't just start today.
Okay.
Like when I was a child, I did ask my mom what I'm about to ask you now.
Okay.
As a child, can you imagine? Like thinking about it now, I just can't imagine my child asking me that sort of deep
Question.
yes.
That must have been a very deep question, right?
I know, like on my age at that point,
Yes.
it's just, but I think that most parents go through the same thing where your child just asks that, strange
Question that is difficult to
adult
answer.
question, being an inquisitive child.
Yes.
So I asked my mom,
Okay.
how are babies made?
Wow. What a tall order.
I know, because I had
And at what age were you at this time, when I asked this question?
I can't remember, to be honest. I can't remember my age exactly.
That
But
must
I
have
was
been
a child.
that must have been around the ages when you used to carry, toy
Yes,
babies and stuff
exactly.
like that.
I had a toy baby. I still remember the color and everything. And you know that baby, like you take care of your baby,
Yeah.
the baby sleeps, eats.
Yeah. I've seen that, especially growing up as a child as
Yes,
well.
and I asked my mom, how are babies made?
Wow.
And you don't want to know what she told me.
I can imagine, right?
Thinking about what she told me now,
Okay.
that was a smart way of dismissing me.
I guess maybe you didn't understand at the time, so she thought, okay, any answer would do.
Anyway, how are babies made?
There's certain things that must happen before a baby is made.
Okay.
And,
Tell me.
the man and the woman would have to unite in a matrimonial way through an activity or called sexual intercourse. And during this sexual intercourse is when the man ejaculates or releases his own semen, which carries his genetic material. And these things go into the woman and unite with the woman's egg that is already waiting or swimming along the tube, and they fertilize and becomes a zygote. A zygote is a very tiny cell that is formed. After these, the egg of the woman and the sperm of the man unite within the woman. And then, so the egg is fertilized, now carrying the genetic material of the woman and the genetic material of the man. And it goes into the womb and attached to the uterine wall and forms a baby within 9 months.
A baby.
Yes. So fertilization is the first step to formation of a child.
What then is fertilization?
Wow. Yeah. So to explain what fertilization, think about it for instance, like a man and a woman, before people become couple, before we became couple,
we became couple.
Exactly. I have to, come to you. We unite in spirit and in physical through activity.
Yes.
To become husband and wife as one. And they said when the two are married, they become one, right?
Yes.
So in the same scenario, when the sperms from a man goes into the woman, they search and find where the egg is, and then unite with the egg. So fertilization is a process where the egg and the sperm unite together to form a zygote.
Wow.
So in this process, you need sperm, you need egg.
Wow. So is fertilization the only way to come about making of a baby?
I would say, yeah. In humans,
yes.
in humans, and most animals, yes, fertilization is the most way. In other animals and other like plants and stuff, there are other ways. However, if we come to humans, the only way you can make a baby is unless you unite an egg with a sperm.
Okay.
And that is through sexual intercourse.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is sexual intercourse
wow. That's quite a deep question. Anyway, yeah.
What's so funny about it? Why did you laugh?
Nothing. I'm just
Dagare.
I'm ready to answer your question. Go ahead.
You're ready.
I am.
Okay. So
born ready to ask the question.
Is sexual intercourse.
Yes.
Anyway, is sexual Is sexual intercourse the only way to achieve fertilization?
So, sexual intercourse used to be the only way prior to the discovery or the discovery of in vitro fertilization technique. And in vitro fertilization, when you say something is in vitro, it means the fertilization is not done within the woman. It's done outside. But when you say in vivo fertilization, it means it's done within the woman. So during sexual intercourse, when the egg and the sperm unite, so that is called in vivo fertilization. However, when the egg and the sperm are taken from both the man and the woman and fertilized in a petri dish or in a tube in the lab, before they take the fertilized egg and put into the woman to attach the uterine wall to establish a child, when that fertilization is done in the lab, that is what we call in vitro fertilization, IVF.
Wow.
And so, apart from sexual intercourse, we have got IVF, which is another way of achieving fertilization.
I have a friend who have had to go through the IVF.
Wow.
And it's a journey.
Yeah, it is. However, science has made this available.
Yes.
And by the grace of God, I think it's something a lot of families have, even a lot of prominent people in society have used this technique.
Absolutely.
And it's really, it's working out well. But I can tell you that many years back, it was something people were really not accepting because they thought it was against nature. The process of fertilization is key in pregnancy. If it doesn't take place, there's no pregnancy. And that is why a lot of times when an egg is not fertilized, after a couple of days, within a month, the uterine wall shed off and come out as menstruation, which women experience as a monthly cycle. But if there's a sperm and that fertilizes the egg, that will not happen. Let's take, for instance, the sexual intercourse. IVF is artificial. Let's leave that story for another day. But for now, we want to take the natural way, which is intercourse, sexual intercourse.
Yes.
So during this sexual intercourse, the man releases up to about 300 million sperms. That's a lot. 300 million. So think about it this way. Before you were formed,
I'm already thinking about the people that I ran that race with.
Before you were formed, there were 300 million other competitors that were competing.
Exactly. I'm just thinking about them right now.
Exactly.
And I made it.
Yep.
I'm a fighter.
Yeah, you're a winner.
Which means
you won the race.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody who...
For every child or human being born, the person is a natural winner. The person who won the race.
And we come into this world, the race continues.
Absolutely.
It's so comforting to know this because we're prepared for this. We're prepared for life.
Nature has taught us to be, and it's within our
We just don't realize it. We're prepared. We're like really prepared for life.
I agree.
Like for the risks and challenges that we eventually face in life.
Let's say during that period of time, the woman is also ovulating, and she has released an egg from one of her ovary through into the fallopian tube. A huge several millions of our sperm cells are washed back out right after sexual intercourse. That's why some people, when they want to get pregnant, they have to raise their leg up. We can talk about that on a different. But a lot of sperm cells get washed out. Now, several million will now start the gene competing.
And they are all racing.
They are all racing.
Reach that egg.
And you only need one.
Maybe some of them might stop to make friends.
This is where you realize that there's no friends in race, because even in the situation that we are in our siblings, for each of us, like siblings or siblings in a family, each of them won a race. Yeah. So they are basically like competitors within one family.
Wow, so that's deep.
Only one gets into the egg and fertilize. And the moment it gets inside and to unite with the egg, every other sperm cell trying to enter, the door is closed. It cannot go in, and they all fall off. The egg cells start to divide, and as it divides, it becomes like a little raspberry, and it attaches to the womb, like a tree, basically like a little plant you have put into the ground. Wow. It attaches there and start growing. And within 9 months,
that's life.
That's life right there.
Wow.
Yes.
God is good.
All the time.
My mom.
So whenever you...
I guess she was saving this story for you to teach me this.
I guess so. And that is why we must remember that whenever we are down, we remember that we have already won a race.
Yes.
We are natural winners.
Absolutely.
We are born to win. And we have won our race. Over 300 million other competitors. We made it.
We did.
We made it.
I did.
Yeah.
You did, and I'm
Absolutely.
so happy you made it.
I did. Absolutely. And you did as well. I'm so happy you're here.
Of course.
Out of that serious competition that you won, here come me with you uniting to start all over the whole process.
Yes, absolutely. We don't really pay attention to these things. Like, it's just one of those things that
We think it's natural.
It's just natural. It's happening.
A lot really happened.
But with what you have
inside.
said now, I'm just having pictures, and I really appreciate the whole process.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.
That's right. Bye.
Bye.